Hey, what's happening, everybody? Happy Monday to all of you. You're among the brave getting up to weather these completely dry streets that I drove in on. Good for you. Good job, everybody. Welcome in. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you stayed warm and are continuing to stay warm. It is cold out there. I will say that. The roads are dry, but it is cold out there. We are here for you. And we are here till 10 o'clock. Our first 4-hour show. Like legit Payne and Pendergast 4-hour patch. None of this.
A lot of the young people out there might not know that's even a thing. You know? We do. In the off season, we do a 4-hour show on Mondays.
Believe it or not. Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm good. It was interesting. I hesitate to say it was an awesome day. You did have two tightly contested games in the championship games. The first game was basically played in 2.5 quarters, I'd say. Yes. Once the weather conditions got so ridiculously bad that neither team was willing to do anything about it other than hope for the other one to make a drastic mistake. And you had a backup quarterback that started off promising, and Jarrett Stidham basically lost the game for him with a C.J. Stroud-like turnover down in his own territory, and that ended up being the difference in the game. The second game of the evening, my goodness, what a back and forth. What turned out to look like it was going to be a shootout for the ages ended up being a story about the defenses in the second half.
Yeah,
I thought some great play calling on both sides of the ball, and that was a great battle between two teams that had really just battled it out in the regular season, and they were very evenly matched, but ultimately the Seattle Seahawks are the victor, which I'm happy for.
Yeah.
I thought the team that beat the snot more thoroughly out of the Texans in the regular season was the one I felt like, okay, you have impressed me, sirs. You go on to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Have you seen the spread for this Super Bowl yet?
I think it's like three in favor of the Seahawks. Is that right?
I saw 4.
4. Okay.
Jimmy Shapiro's. Yeah, Jimmy Shapiro. I said after the Seahawks-Rams game, I said it during the Seahawks-Rams game, because just watching those two teams play, and I think I'd be saying this even if the conditions weren't what they were in Denver for the last quarter and a half of that game. I'll take what I saw in the first 2.5 quarters and say exactly what I'm going to say right now. If that spread is under a touchdown, I said this during the NFC title game, I'm taking whoever wins this game against the Patriots.
Uh-huh.
The Patriots have gotten to the Super Bowl by now winning 2. I'm going to put the Los Angeles Chargers aside. They won that game, convincingly in so much as Justin Herbert couldn't do anything. The last 2 games that the Patriots have won have both been games where you're like, well, there's 28 other quarterbacks that would have won that game.
Yeah.
If they're playing against the Patriots. And so I just feel like give credit to Mike Vrabel for getting the Patriots turned around from being a 4-13 team 2 seasons in a row and getting them to the Super Bowl. That's an incredible accomplishment. It really is. This Seahawks team, I think, and I'd say the same thing about the Rams. They're on a different level than whoever the AFC was sending to that game. That's my only thing, and this is where I want to start, Seth, because I'm watching that Denver-New England game yesterday completely through the prism of how am I going to feel as a Texan fan at the end of this thing? How am I going to feel that the Texans blew the best opportunity that they've had in a quarter century to get to a Super Bowl? How am I going to feel about how this game played out? And you and I were texting during the game, and I said to you, the only outcome that's going to make me feel better as a Texan fan is if Denver steamrolls New England. Because then I can say, well, I don't think the Texans' A- or B+ game would have beaten that there today.
Yeah.
If Denver had steamrolled them, and early on it looked like that's how it was going to be. The defense for Denver was good all day long. The one touchdown drive the Patriots had, Jarrett Stidham handed them field position at the 12-yard line, and they scored on 3 plays. Other than that, I feel worse as a Texan fan having watched that game yesterday.
This is the problem. The Patriots have followed the formula that the Texans had been trying to follow all year long, right up until C.J. Stroud decided to abandon it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Drake May, this is the fewest points per game scored in the playoffs to make it to a Super Bowl in NFL history or since the year whatever.
I saw the tweet. I'll find it. Yeah,
it's 16 or so points per game they've scored.
It's 18. Yep,
18 points per game. And meanwhile, the teams to make the Super Bowl after playing 3 playoff games and allowing 26 or fewer total points, there's 2 teams that have done it: the 2000 Ravens and the 2025 Patriots.
Yeah,
This Patriots run has been way more about the Patriots defense.
Way more.
But because it's the NFL, people are going to talk about Drake May. I don't fault him for not scoring a boatload of points because he's had bad weather conditions. But all he's had to do is take care of the football and take advantage of the opportunities that the defense presents you. And he's done just that.
Yes.
And that's what C.J. Stroud could have done.
Yep.
It's just man the ship, play conservative football, don't be an idiot. And he was unable to accomplish that. And the Texans defense had too many blips in the Patriots game. So
yeah.
It's not, they didn't play a perfect game or anything. But I mean, the Patriots defense was given a lot of extra opportunities because C.J. Stroud just went AWOL on the game plan.
Here's the number you were looking for. The Patriots have averaged 18 points per game in their 3 playoff games this season, the lowest of any team to reach the Super Bowl since the 1979 Rams.
Yeah.
Quarterbacked by Vince Ferragamo.
Oh, Vince Ferragamo.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. They won the. I remember that. They
did
won.
A good job as the Hulk as well.
They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 9-7 in the NFC title game that year.
I think this is. I could see myself. I could see myself scrolling Twitter yesterday, which I chose not to do. I just tried to enjoy the football. But I just know there was somebody out there, Sean. Mm-hmm. Somebody out there said, well, I don't see people criticizing Jarrett Stidham the way they did C.J. Stroud. It's because somebody did. I know they did, and it was gonna send me over the edge. Yeah, Jarrett Stidham's a backup quarterback,
right.
Career backup. Right. And Jarrett Stidham's what should have been a pick six on the backwards pass. All ball don't lie, et cetera, et cetera. It ended up allowing a touchdown. Yeah. That wasn't even as bad as CJ's pick six. That was, at the very least, he was trying to dirt the ball, and he was just a little bit late on it. It was still a really, really bad mistake by Jarrett Stidham, career backup.
Yeah.
So, yes, that C.J. Stroud is going to get more criticism than Jarrett Stidham would. And he also C.J. turned the ball over more than Jarrett Stidham did. Yeah,
that was and I mean, Jarrett, towards the end of the game, when they get the ball back, I mean, the snow element to this in the last quarter and a half was interesting because when I'm an impartial observer, I like watching snow games. I think it's entertaining. There's a Norman Rockwell aspect to it, like it's fun. It harkens back to the old John Facenda, the frozen tundra, that kind of thing. When I have a rooting interest, which I had a heavy rooting interest, I was not ready to see Dave Portnoy gloating on social media, Bill Simmons, all of it. I was rooting for Denver. That snow felt like handcuffs. That snow felt like, okay, this is just credit Vrabel. Like, he played it super conservative down the stretch because he knew that's all he had to do.
They just conceded the set of downs.
They were throwing the ball away on third down, almost intentionally.
Yeah.
Romo said it. He's like, no, that's a play where if the first read's not there, you huck it into the stands.
Yeah.
So Jarrett Stidham on the last drive that they ended up getting it was just complete game mismanagement. The first down play where he dives to shovel the ball to the running back, who then catches it, and then they burn 7 seconds off the clock, getting the next play on second and whatever it was, and then on that play he throws the interception. So you had two just horrific plays, and you never got the ball back. You never got the ball back. Did you know Drake May went rogue on that the end around or the naked
really?
Bootleg that he ran there?
Romo said it was a really gutsy play call. So that was
by Drake May. Yeah, Drake May went rogue. Nobody on it, at least according to him, nobody on his team knew he was going to do that.
That's good. Yeah. He pulled a little bit of the Peyton Manning, recognizing that the naked boot was there.
Yep.
And
that's
just
what people
went
compared
out,
it to.
And took it.
Yeah.
And look, on a day like that, that's exactly the smart and right thing to do. My gosh. And, a week ago, I was wondering why the Broncos weren't running their quarterback more in the second half. And Bo Nix ended up running the ball in the overtime and breaking his ankle. There were times where in that game yesterday, I was wondering, man, should they just have a little bit of Drake designed runs to try to squeeze out the clock? It all worked out, and his legs ended up being the difference. But you gotta be careful of that. And he did a good job scrambling up the middle a few times. But it was exactly what It was exactly what Drake May needed to do in that game, where he wasn't spectacular, same way as he was last week. Last week he was more impressive than he was this week. The touchdown they scored was just at point-blank range after Jarrett Stidham had basically gifted the Patriots the touchdown.
Yeah. The big call in that game that's getting a ton of attention, and we'll hear from Sean Payton in just a second. Well, let's hear from Payton first. Payton said the problem with this game, we had opportunities in the first half. We just didn't come away with enough in the first half.
What do you think of how Stidham played today?
Oh, I thought he fought hard in tough conditions. I think we're going to look at the film. I know this. I'm going to look at it and be critical of myself. And I think there were a number of things that we just had to do better. You know, we didn't finish some runs. We dropped some passes again. Felt like that was a problem all year. You know, early when we had momentum, we didn't, like, it felt like, let's just say, most first half, and we didn't come away with enough having had that momentum and that field position.
Yeah, there were opportunities. Hell, on the Patriots, I'm watching, they're showing the highlights on the TV in our studio here, Seth. The very first possession the Patriots had, Hufanga could have had an interception at the Patriots' 25-yard line. There were a lot of missed opportunities in that game. The biggest thing Payton is getting criticism for, and I've never seen a coach get such criticism for a decision in the first half of a game on fourth down, but the game ended up 10-7, so it's easy to go back and look. I agree with the criticism because I typed it at the time. 4th and 1 in the red zone, up 7-0. You can see which way this game is going. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I thought Sean Payton should have kicked the field goal. Instead, he runs a fourth down play that was completely butchered from the snap.
Yeah.
Where did you come out on that?
I thought at the time I said, man, kick the field goal.
Yeah, me too.
Because they said that there was bad weather coming in and everything, and I know that can be a coin flip and say whatever you want with the analytics and everything. But I also, at the same time too, at that point the weather conditions weren't bad. So I'm trying to remember that, okay, all of those missed field goals later on were from much further away. But they were missed by a good chunk of a margin that maybe when Payton just balanced it out with everything, he just felt like, man, it's not a chip shot field goal at any distance here. And it's that was 4th and inches, right?
No, it was kind of 4th and a long one,
It was 4th and a long one.
Yeah.
And that was the one that the Bronco or the no, that was did Payton himself call a timeout before that one?
I can't. Payton himself couldn't remember. Here's Sean Payton on the 4th and 1.
I feel better then.
Yeah.
Well, we ended up in a 6-1 front. They ended up playing in a heavy 6-1. There was a clock stoppage, so we had a nickel run called, and then I don't know if there was a timeout or they called one, but you know, it's a slipper naked that run pretty well. They played a 6-1 front with a kind of a 2-deep shell, so the run look was going to be, hindsight, the initial sub-run thought was a better decision.
Yeah, Denver had a timeout before that.
Yeah, Denver called their second timeout at 9 minutes and 28 seconds left. Yep. And then the play was just it was a complete bleep show from the start. Like Stidham, the pass rush gets in there. Stidham's running backwards, and he almost throws an interception.
This is the one where I just continue to wonder, man, the play that everybody wants to outlaw, the tush push. Why are we still overthinking this at any point? They can line up in whatever they want, have a good tush push. I mean, Stidham later in the game, Drake May would get a conversion on a sneak / tush push that really looked. Yeah, man. That's the one that's driving me insane, is that they've got this microchip in the football that they refuse to use for actually spotting the ball. They'll use to decide whether it's a first down or not. And the other part about the way they're officiating that now that annoys the hell out of me is that as soon as the quarterback stops for a nanosecond, if he loses the football, they'll call forward progress. But meanwhile, if he gets stopped for a nanosecond and he doesn't fumble the football, they allow him to keep going. But regardless, that's I guess if he had run a tush push and they didn't get the fourth down, then I would have been a little bit more forgiving of it.
Yeah.
But it just, I'm at the stage now where any team that doesn't have a tush push, including the Texans up until this year where they finally decided to start using one, they just do not overthink this. Stop coaching like it's 1993.
Yeah. What's your initial excitement level for Seahawks Patriots? We're going to be out there next week for this thing.
Just by my sheer hatred for the Patriots and everything they represent right now, it's pretty high. It's not the right kind of feeling. It's more of a, boy, I would rather be fueled by love and happiness and peace and all of that. But right now I want blood.
Yeah.
I want blood. I want heads on spikes.
Right. The absolute value of your emotion is high. It's just it's coming from an anger place, not a
right.
I can't wait to watch this out of sheer football joy.
It's like it's fun to have an exciting life, but usually it's one. Hey, we're going to roller coasters and water parks and everything.
Yeah.
It's still an exciting life if you're fighting a war against the invading hordes, and that's what I feel like I'm doing right now.
Dude, the text page today. I come into the text page today and I open it up, and it's all text from like however many hours ago, like both these games were going on. And it's all C.J. Stroud. It's all like
it's impossible not to.
It's all Sam Darnold is much, much better than C.J. Stroud, which he is.
Yeah.
It's all about how C.J. Here's a big frustration. This is an interesting one. C.J. had to learn the system. This is BS. Darnold had to learn Clint Kubiak's system, and this is the big one. Drake May had to learn, sort of a cousin of the system that the Texans were in.
Yeah.
In this season, Josh McDaniels, it's his first season, and Drake May might be the MVP of the league this year.
Yeah, I don't. The bloom is off the rose for C.J. Stroud, and this is very much a prove it year for him. But then you flip back to, oh yeah, Sam Darnold looked like absolute trash after his first couple of years in the NFL. He didn't look anywhere close to C.J. Stroud, and look at him now. Yeah. So there's just so many variables that go into it.
They go to 4 other teams. That's the thing.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's the problem with CJ is that he just had a mediocre regular season. So it's harder to say, oh, wow, he just fell apart in the playoffs. It was all right. He wasn't all that exciting other than in some nice clutch fourth quarter moments during the regular season. But then he just completely fell apart in the playoffs.
Yeah, like in the worst way. He's still getting memed.
Yeah, you can make excuses for why he didn't have great performances in the playoffs. We can talk about the offensive line. We can talk about Joe Mixon's absence, all of that. You can certainly talk about Nico not being there in the final game of the playoffs. But you just can't ignore that it wasn't just that he couldn't perform well. It's that he is the one who lost you the Patriots.
He lost that game.
By just horrendous football play.